Hi there. My name is Sarah Cashmore, and I am the founder of Piano with Sarah. And I wanted to jump on to answer a question that I get from a lot of parents who are starting their kids out in piano lessons for the first time. And that question is, how often should my child be practicing? So, practice is a tricky thing because we tend to prescribe certain numbers of days a week that kids practice or a certain number of minutes per day. But the quantity of practice is as important as the quality of that practice. So, my answer is going to kind of have two parts. What kind of quantity of practice can we expect from different age groups? And two, how can we make sure that the quality of that practice is high? So let's start with the first part. How much time should a child be spending practicing? So if you've ever learned a new skill, maybe you tried to get good at yoga, maybe you tried to learn a new language, consistent daily exposure to that new skill really is the best way to learn. When you have consistent practice every day, you get to build upon your learning for each day in a way that is more consistent and actually grows faster than if you were to take days off from that practice. So I feel like this is a pretty universally understood. Daily consistent practice is better than sporadic practice. But kids, of course, have different attention spans. And so it's also important to try to fit that practice within whatever level your child can handle. So I find that for kids ages 4 to 6, um, they should be able to handle 15 minutes of practice per day, and that can go up to 30 minutes depending on the child. For kids ages 7 to 11, I find that 30 to 45 minutes of practice every day is manageable. And for kids who are 12 and older, especially if they're getting into Royal Conservatory where they are having multiple pieces at once that they're learning, they should be able to manage 45 minutes and upwards to about an hour and a half. So those are the breakdowns. But then let's take a minute to talk about the quality of that practice, because no 4 to 6 year old is even going to be able to sit down for 15 minutes of practice if they're not interested in what they're doing. And so maintaining interest in practice is a really big part of what I do as a piano teacher to keep their learning and motivation going. And so if your child is struggling to sit down for the 15, the 20 to 30 minutes of practice that you're trying to set them up with, I would take a look at the quality of that practice. What are they trying to do during that time, and why are they trying to do that? The why for practice is so important, and I find that to be a leading motivating factor for kids, just as it's a leading motivating factor for adults, frankly. Kids need a reason why they need to sit down to do this. Because I told you to, it only lasts for so long, right? And so as a piano teacher, I try to set up homework for my students that have three qualities. One, the homework must be interesting to the student. It has to be a song that they're interested in, or they want to partake in some activity that they're interested in. Two, the homework has to be relevant to their goals and interests. I try to learn as much as I can about each of my students so that I can help them choose music and homework exercises that are relevant to what they would like to be able to do. So for some kids, they just want to play Disney. So I will set up their homework as a way of showing them, okay, let's get your skills ready so that you can learn how to play Disney. And connecting the songs or the drills to a child's natural goals and motivations is really great in helping keep the homework relevant. And third, the homework should be manageable. So if your child, for example, is struggling with learning to read music, yet their homework is to simply work on an entire piece, like that whole piece could be like 4 lines of music, your child will be sitting at the piano looking at a big piece of music that they don't know what to do with, it's going to be overwhelming, it's going to be demotivating. So a piano teacher who is in tune with your child's interest and skill level should be able to come up with manageable chunks of homework so that your child can work on that a bit every day during the week, and by the end of the week be able to accomplish something that they set out to do. So interesting, relevant, and manageable. So I hope this helps to answer your question. Quantity of practice is as important as the quality of that practice. And so to repeat, for kids ages 4 to 6, they should be able to sit down for 15 to 30 minutes of practice every day if their homework is interesting, relevant, and manageable. Kids who are 7 to 11 should be able to sit down for 30 to 45 minutes if their homework is interesting, relevant, and manageable. And kids who are 12 and older should be able to sit down for 45 minutes or more if their homework is interesting, relevant to them, and manageable. I hope that was helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions, and good luck with your work.